Here I am again, YouTubers. Well, I am actually a legend in my own mind. I'm actually a phenom of YouTube. I have 40 hits and a troll actually. So you know you've made it when you have a troll. No, just someone who disagreed on a point I was making. So, and I don't care. I don't mind that. They were respectful. They just said, hey, but um, if they see this, I was just concerned about a little one. They'll know what I'm talking about. And, innocent people. That's who basically I was worried about. So, um, also, yesterday when I was talking about the short stories that I had written while I was writing Autumn, I I had misstated my own my own story. I said it was called Forbidden. It actually is. It's called Unspoken because, like I was saying yesterday, or whenever I made that other videos, that um, it's a love story. It takes place in medieval time, but they never say the word "I love you." They never use the word love through the whole story, even though it's a love story. And I think it's pretty cool. The other short story I started while I was doing, because I got really caught up in Robin Hood for some reason. I'm the kind of person I'll watch like like Robin Hood or something like all the way through, and then something else like all the way through. I don't watch television at all. Um, but that's one of the things I do. And Raven Knight was something that I got inspired by Robin Hood, watching a lot of Robin Hood, and um, that's the one I was talking about. Might be the prequel. Might be the prequel. Also, I had to go downtown and take some paperwork tomorrow. I am actually going to Olympia because I told you we live in Washington. I live in Washington State. I'm actually going to Olympia to look at an apartment. I don't. Well, I don't mind. So, because I did live down there, it's a college town, and I did live down there when I was in getting my bachelor's and getting my master's. I actually did live there. I moved actually here. My son actually moved me here. So, also too, I want to try to remember because I started this video 3 times. The first time I started it, my godson texted me. Then, of course, somebody returned my phone call, and I didn't want that on there. So this is like the third time, so I'm trying to remember everything that I talked about, which I probably won't. And this necklace I really, really like. My some friends of mine, Kathy and her husband, Ken, gave me this for my graduation present when I was getting my master's. And it's so funny because it actually matches his shirt. And you don't see brown and silver a lot, which is what I needed actually for this shirt. And I actually have it. So shout out to them. Thank you for the beautiful necklace. I said about the housing. Oh, and when I had tried to remember the names of the three ships, remember I told you I used Old English names for the three ships that come and get my hero and my heroine um from New Orleans to take them to England, that they had Old English names. And one of them means, I can't say it, but one of them means black angel or dark angel. I can't, which will make sense, if I end up writing the part two, if they want part two of Autumn, which everything takes place in England, it'll make more sense then. Um, that noise is my is my nail, but I just I had a little hangnail or something. Yeah. So anyway, and it drives me crazy because I want my nails to look nice tomorrow when I go and talk to this guy about the apartment. I said that three ships I used Old English names from. One of the words means black angel. You can look that up in Old English if you can. They actually have you can look up words. That's how I found the words. Also, But I can't remember the third one. I can't remember what I named the third one, but I did name one Gisselberna, and what it means is rushing brook, tumbling brook, something like that. And it'll make a lot of sense. Because, see, the thing of it is, none of this stuff makes any sense now because you haven't read the book. As soon as you read the book, and read some of the short stories, then then it understand it. And I'm trying not to say, a whole lot about the book, so you'll want to read it. So I talked about the prequel. I talked about, and the about Robin Hood. Um, I started watching the 1980s Kip Carpenter version of Robin Hood way back in the 80s. I remember it came on public television, and it came on like 9 o'clock, seems like to me, on a Saturday night. So on Saturday nights when I didn't go out, and back then I actually did have a social life and actually went out once in a while. Even though I had a little boy, but I was living with my sister, so I didn't have to worry about babysitters pretty much. But he's a grown man now. He's 33. But I remember every Saturday night, I'd get my little beer or my little whatever, and watch this Robin Hood, thing. And I really, really, I really enjoyed that. That's one period I really enjoy reading about and writing about. I have a couple of Robin Hood books. I have Myths and Legends by Anthony Horowitz. Um, the Year 1000. I think I talked about that. I have a couple of books about Robin Hood. I have J.C. Holt's Robin Hood. So um, it's very, very interesting period to me. I don't know a lot about the Crusades. It's hmm, well, war is war. No matter when it is, it's crazy. So I have some questions from my email. I like to watch DVDs and movies. I like to listen to the commentaries, the director's commentary, because that's how you learn. I like to know what people were thinking when they created something. When they created something, what was what was the method? How did they go in their mind? How did they do it? Um, and I was giving the example before, because like I said, this is the third time I've tried this. First time no, actually four times I've tried this already, because first I was too light. I had too much pancake powder on, and it made me look too light, made me look like dusty or something, too light. And trust me, in case you don't know, Black women are very funny about what shade they are. We will stand at the cosmetic counter until we get it right, and we want it to be perfect. Not too light, not too dark, and I'm um I'm one of those people. I'm not trying to look too light. But so I had come back from downtown, and I put on my video makeup over my normal makeup, and I had brushed some powder on it, and I was just looking too light and too dusty or something. I just didn't like it. So I went back and put some more makeup on. Then the second time I tried to start the video, my godson texted me to because we're making our Thanksgiving plans. He's going to go out in the boat. His uh, lady, Miss Sam, doesn't feel well. So they're gonna go. So he's been kind of laying kind of low lately, And we were talking. I told him about the interview and everything about probably moving. So I let him know about that. I try to keep the people in my for Thanksgiving. I'm going to Lauren and Hollins. I usually go there. Well, it's a funny thing about Thanksgiving. I'll tell you the Thanksgiving story, and I'll get back on to what I'm supposed to be talking about, which is the book, which I never talk about. From the time my son was in junior high school, practically, um, he always went away Thanksgiving weekend to basketball camp. So they'd leave like that Tuesday or Monday night or something like that, and they wouldn't be back till Sunday. So what I got in the habit of um, was I just have Thanksgiving by myself, or just go to a friend's house for Thanksgiving or something like that. Or And then when my son came home on Sunday night, the next Sunday we would have our Thanksgiving dinner, which sometimes coincided with his birthday. So I'm not gonna say when it is, but so I did that for a while, and then after he got grown and was out, and then when he lived in Bellingham, I would go up there for holidays, and it was like a little 3 hour Greyhound ride. A lot of fun, close enough, but far enough. And then he moved to Texas, and then some other things. So I started to go over my friend's house because they had asked me, for Thanksgiving, knowing, that my son was out. Um, I had one Thanksgiving, actually hosted Thanksgiving dinner here once, but that wasn't a big deal because it's such a tiny place. It wasn't a big deal. I just had one friend over and we just sat around drinking wine and, partying and talking. And her husband had to work. So, I just sent her a whole bunch of food back home, and that kind of thing. And that was really nice Thanksgiving. My favorite Thanksgiving, I was thinking about it today while I was on my way to um, Rally Point 6. I was telling you guys about that. That's a veterans organization. I When we moved into our house in Washington, D.C., when my parents moved into the house that they lived in till now, from 1970 till now, 40 some years, my dad is passed away. And I think I also said that my mom has moved into like an assistant, like living kind of thing. But the house, because she's 81, we were scared that big house she'd fall or something and nobody would know. And but the house is still in the family, and we moved in actually because my dad was a teacher, and of course we were all in school. And so I think the house closed like the Monday before Thanksgiving or something like that. We actually moved in Thanksgiving night. So no, the day before, Wednesday. And I don't even think it was lights on at that point. I think the movers had brought in a bunch of the junk, but I don't know if it was lights. So my dad went somewhere on Thanksgiving Day and found something open, and he got cold cuts and soda, a bottle of wine for him and my mom, and, just cookie cake, any stuff you didn't have to cook. Cause I don't think we had any electricity. I don't think the gas was on out there, cause it was a holiday. Of course, you weren't getting anything till Monday. So, and it was a really nice Thanksgiving because we just sat around on the floor with all the boxes piled up, eating I want to write down the stuff. Okay, number one, Thanksgiving, eating chips and cold cuts, bread, all that stuff, and we just sat around. It was no stress. It was no, how family things can get. And that's part of the thing sometimes that I really don't miss living far away from my family. I miss them a lot sometimes, and especially around holidays, I kind of I when I call home, like, I could they can't hear me because it's a riot going on where I am. I can't hear any of them talk because it's a riot going on there. And then my sister will put the phone on speakerphone, and that makes so everybody can talk to me at once, and that makes it worse because I can't hear anybody. But it's good, and I miss them, but I don't miss the drama. Put it that way. I don't miss the drama. um I talked about that I like commentaries on my DVDs. I talked about that. I talked about the three ships. And I think in my other video, I said something about, um, um, I think I said something about the new book. It's, that it sucked. Everything sucked. The whole thing sucks. It stinks. I have to start all the way over. But you learn from your mistakes. And the mistake I had made was I thought that, now since I think I said it before, since I had written one book that I thought this will be easy. I'll have it scaled down this time. I won't make any of the crazy mistakes I made last time, having to go back and take so much out, which is exactly what I'm doing now. It just hurts. It just hurts. I mean, I go from 102 pages to 52, just scratching out stuff. But I think it's good. Also, um, but yeah, you learn from your mistakes. And plus, well, one thing I really learned was not to have, well, actually, Bill Ransom, my writing teacher, when I took that course I was telling you guys about a novel idea, said something like it's a business, it's work. So because I went to sit around and get inspired, you know. But on the other hand, also, you can't if it's not there, you can't force it. If you don't have an idea, if you're absolutely cold, absolutely nothing's going on. What I do in those cases is go back and proofread. That's pretty much what I do when I'm in there, when I want to work, but I want to make the commitment to work every day, but I can't work every day. Nothing. Sometimes you can't make up, like what I call it. So I can pick and probe, like I call the editing. I can do that. That's easy. Um, so last night I went downstairs because it's a big lobby downstairs in the condo complex here. Um, and I just didn't feel like being by myself. And I wanted to catch up on my YouTube, catch up on my Facebook, all that kind of stuff. I never get a chance to, yeah, I just didn't feel like being by myself because, I had a lot of stuff to do and I really didn't feel like, so I went down there, got a lot of, that catching up and stuff to do. Um, and I already said I like about the commentaries. That's what I like best. Music, I like all kinds of music. This is stuff from my email. Um, I was also, let me see, do I have time to do? Okay, yeah, I do. Um, for an example about music, my son had this one song. I want to say it's by Tyrese. We have a whole different, taste in music. Now, he likes classic rock too, because that's what he heard growing up. It was that kind of rock and roll, Tom Petty and that kind of stuff. So he likes that, but he also likes his rap music and that kind of thing like that. And I said, the rap music, as far as I'm concerned, is one of my kids, quote unquote, is performing or somebody's performing live, then I kind of like the art form of rap music. But just play something. I would, well, no, I probably had Run DMC. I probably had some Snoop Dogg, like the Ice T, Ice Cube, the classics, Big Daddy Kane, those kind of people. I had their kind of stuff. Eminem, those kind. I love his voice. It's just so, I don't know. I love his voice. And most rappers do have really very, very nice, like the timbre of their voice sounds good. Um, anyway, my son had a song. I think it was by Tyrese. It was like a ballad. It was a really nice song. And every time I'd hear that song, I'd see this woman walking down the street with her with like packages wrapped like in brown paper and string. And I'm like, okay, who is she? Where's she going? What's going on with her? And I saw this like the staff car following her, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And finally it hit me that that was one of the ideas that came to me about the second book, and that's how it came to me, that vision of a woman walking. And I knew it wasn't this time because the way she was dressed and the way her packages, where her hair was pressed, and the what she had on. And I asked myself, well, who is she? Where's she going? And she was in occupied Paris, about, I'll say 42 something ish in there. Well, where's she going? Well, she's going to work. Where's she been? What does she do? She's a entertainer, a la like Josephine Baker kind of entertainer. And then I asked myself, well, who's the guy in the car? Who's this guy following her in the staff car? And from that was born the first part of the story. So, and which it actually began as a play, and like I said about everything, I started, with handwriting. I handwrite first. So, and whenever you get stuck, also handwrite. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this one go. I'm gonna have a drink of cranberry juice, and then I'll probably make two or three more, and then I've really got it. It's dark already. It's only 4:56, and it is dark. Well, because it's been cloudy all day. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make another one, maybe a couple more, and then I am going to be back. So to my grandkids. Hi, it's grandma. His grandma. His grandma. Hi to my son. Yeah, hi to my daughter-in-law. Oh, my daughter-in-law's birthday is Well, actually, it's today in Japan. It's the 21st. It's the 20th here in the States, but it's the 21st um, in Japan. So happy birthday, Leah. So see you guys later.